Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Morgan Price and we are back in Space Engineers. Today we are doing a cable and power distribution tutorial. Before I get into anything in depth, I'm going to say thank you very much to Venusgate from Reddit. He provided me with 11 things I wish I knew on the first day. And yeah, it's a good read. I'm going to include the link down below so you can link to it directly from the description and give it a read. You'll learn a few things that there's things I didn't know, which I'm no expert, but I've tried to discover as much as I can about this. Anyway, let's get to it. So, things to think about. First thing you want to think about, keep the tool that you use for the job you're doing, i.e. cabling or piping, in your offhand. There's reasons for this. So I'm going to put this back in the belt. We're going to run out a couple pieces of cable here. So these pieces of cable I would have to cut out in order to change them. But if I have the cutters in my hand, I can put in a splice directly, allowing me to save a bit of time going forward with my wiring. Now, when deconstructing cables, you will get one cable per straight piece or corner. You will get two cables per T-junction and four-way junction, and if you, for some reason, use a six-way junction, you will get three cables. Those are the costs. Now, this little pipe setup here, with the cables going through it, is just a demonstration piece. So, when you are laying your cables, you can lay cables horizontally through piping as long as both ends of the cable are on the outside of the pipe. So this is a vertical wire through a T-junction. This is horizontal through a straight piece. You are unable to actually put a straight line through here, but you are able to put a curve past the end of the pipe elbow. So you're able to do various things as you need here and there. Say this was a vertical piece of pipe, you would be able to lay a straight piece of wire directly behind it. That being said, we will now get into this. You can attach heavy cable to light cable. I'm not sure why you would do it unless you were doing some sort of overload fuse for yourself, which I'm not sure why you would do that, but a lot of people are much smarter than me and could tell me a reason for it. Okay, so that covers that. Budget for your splits and junctions. We kind of covered that with what you get back from cutting up multiple junctions. So when you are placing, say, a four-way junction, you are going to use two cable. When you are placing a T-junction, two cable. Straights and elbows or straights and corners, one cable. It just, yeah, it's logical. Now, paint. Paint is your friend. Paint is going to be your saving grace in organizing things. So, one thing to know about painting. It is far more efficient to paint a stack at a time. Let's do yellow. To paint a stack at a time than it is to paint single cables. Now, mind you, I have a setup to where my paint doesn't go away because I'm terribly inefficient with it and I never pulled the mod. So with that, paint. You can paint it up easily enough, paint stacks, it's more efficient, and will help you in the long run. Cable and pipe spaghetti are difficult to avoid. This is where painting will come in handy, as well as maintenance tunnels. Now, if you want to do a maintenance tunnel, you can do something like this where I have iron walls that I have used as walkways, and what you would do is have an iron wall walkway down the middle of the room, like through here, and you would build on the walls and under the floor and on the ceiling of the iron walkway, um, under the level of your main floor. So that will help you keep things cleaner. You're not going to be 100% neat and tidy unless you run things through the frames, but you have to plan that out in advance. If you already have a room like that set up, you don't want to be ripping out a chunk of the floor in order to put wire through it because you may lose your atmosphere. So, yeah. Now, transformers. Transformers are your friends. They are one of several ways to protect your wires. Doesn't matter how much power goes into a transformer through the inside, what goes out is what's assigned on this dial. So this will only allow, because it's a small one, will only allow 5,000 watts out, guaranteeing you will not overload this wire. You can get 100,000 watts directly off of your generator. It still won't burn out this wire. Might burn out this wire, but not that wire. These are both like cables. It's just a wiring diagram. So the medium one, which is probably going to be the workhorse of your power control systems, will allow 25,000 watts of power through. And then you have this beast. Now, he's only here for educational purposes. It's highly unlikely that you will ever need 50,000 watts of power, but it's there for you if you find a way to put it into your base, or if you just want to have it because it looks neat, because it really does. Yeah. So he's the big guy. You'll likely not use him, but he does the same thing as those, just on a larger scale. Now, here we go. Don't make loops in cables. Having a circuit that goes back on itself is always going to blow your cables. Period. So, I have a used battery in here. This guy's at 50%. There's actually something I heard happens, but I don't know if it actually does or not. So, we're going to flip the switch. Monkey flips the switch. Boom. Blew the wire. So, grab this guy. We're going to grab a bit of cable too. And we're going to go chop. Then, excuse me, I meant to do something other than that. There we go. Alright, so that's restored. Nope, still at 50%. Alright. So, see, anytime you have a loop, it's going to burn out your wire. So, in order to protect that, excuse me, stop fighting me, please. I'm hitting the wrong button, which is why I'm having issues. Alright, so we've got that guy there. We're going to put this guy back in his spot and grab this guy. Fuses. Fuses are going to give you a controllable place where your power lines will burn out. So no matter what, you're going to have to replace the cable, but that fuse means it's going to blow right there every time. Let's set this guy down. Chop the cable. No. Excuse me. I'm having issues today, but as I said, placing that fuse every single time will blow at the fuse rather than anywhere else on the line. And nope, still 50%. Weird. Fuses. Fuse can go right there. With that, I have a wiring convention that I use. Green is power sources. So this is just a demonstration of it. I'll actually go over that before I end things. I need to get to a quick and easy first day setup. So we're going to grab these two guys first. Run over here. So I've set up this place just for this. We're going to put this guy down, put the glass on top. Then we're going to place the glass back inside, grab an area power controller here. Now I typically do this way. You place that one away. There's two schools of thought on when you run your wires. Let's grab the auto lathe and the bits and bobs. No, grab both. Thank you. We're going to open this and put the iron plates in there. Alright, so there's two different schools of thoughts when it comes to when you set up your machines. You can set up your machines and actually build the machine first and then wire it afterwards. We're going to throw this guy here, grab out the torch, and then, did I leave the torch on? Okay, nope, it's not on. So, a word to the wise, don't leave the torch on. You will damage your suit, and it's kind of a waste of duct tape, so we're going to grab that. You use cables on the second stage, and then grab your torch back out with some plastic sheets. Burn that into place. I'll put these back in my inventory for now. Grab the screwdriver. Boom, auto lathe. Now, you go back over here, grab your arc furnace, and let's see, that's two. We're going to set it right there. It's probably slightly too far away, but that is what it is. The main thing is to get the setup going. So like I said, green cable goes from power sources. I have this pre-painted so it's a little bit faster. Now, we're using that area power controller specifically because what it's going to allow us to do going forward is install a battery. We're pretending that this is a very first day setup. We're going to place this here, go boop boop, straight. Yeah, I placed this one too far away. So not as efficient on cables as I would like, but I have done worse. So the area power controller will allow us to use this battery in our inventory here to operate either of these machines as necessary. So we can smelt ore in the arc furnace here, and we can print up the machines that we need in the auto lathe. Now the solar panel is going to charge this battery whenever the sun comes up and shines on it because, well, that's what solar panels do. But this will allow us to have something continuously charged to where we can always operate our machinery. You can also, if you so choose, or you are in a position to do so, use your portable generator wired into a power mount. I'm not sure what the name of that thing is. So we're going to hit F1 and we're going to type in power. Power connector, yeah. So you can wire that generator into a power connector and it will be integratable into your setup. Now, with that is really the easy bit. You will wind up staying in a configuration like that probably for a few days, just getting materials processed and crafted up for various machines you're going to need, more materials like iron walls and the like for things going forward. Alright, now that we've covered most of that, we're going to put the crowbar back where it belongs and throw these guys in here. Okay, that covers the wiring, so we're going to go over the wiring convention that I was talking about. Now, I've used these creative RTGs just to have a power source in here. So, green wires will go off of any power generators, be they a solar panel, a gas generator, windmills, the solid generator, anything like that. If it generates power, it's attached to green. Green doesn't get attached to anything but the power generator and the receiving side of a battery of any sort. For instance, this large base battery or large stationary battery. Now this guy, on the other hand, this guy holds 9 million watts of power. So, yeah, it's 9 million. This guy holds 9 million watts of power. So, it's going to last a while. I will say this, if you are in a cold place, i.e. if you are on Europa where it's negative 146 Celsius on a warm day, you will lose power just because the cold saps power in batteries. That's why Europa is kind of the hard mode for the droid race that they have. So, moving on from there, and this is an excellent teaching tool. We were talking about it earlier. So you have this large transformer. Now you're normally not going to use this in your base. I basically just put him here because first off, he looks cool. Secondly, it's the easiest way to teach how to rapidly set these things. So if you look, you can increase or decrease this by twisting the dial, but it's only 1,000 at a time, meaning you're going to have to spin that dial a lot. Now what you can do instead is take your labeler, put in the amount you need, which that's 50,000. There you go. It is now set to 50,000 watts. You can turn this on. It will now provide power 50,000 watts through here, even though this would output as much as it holds if it could. Now, charging up this battery here, you've got power going out. You could actually see it draining from there and filling over here. So it's just basically a chain. If I were to connect that battery directly up to that battery, it would burn out the wires in between almost instantly, just because this will request whatever is in the network all at once. So, yeah, it's best to have something separating it. Like I said, this medium one is likely going to be the workhorse for any large power protection, but you do have that option. So, going to here, I have an orange cable, which is basically from a transformer to a sub-battery, be it a battery like this or an APC. It's basically just to differentiate between this, which comes off the main line, and anything coming off of a transformer, or like this here, sub battery. It's just sub distribution. Now, your small transformer here. This guy is going to protect this kind of cable. You actually don't need to put the APC where it is. Now, I included this just because it's really good if you want to power either single machines or small systems like an airlock. I have this guy here as an example of a power user. He's just existing. It doesn't have to be an auto lathe. It could be a battery charger. It could be any number of things. Oh yeah, it does help to turn on your transformers. Now, that's something a lot of people use transformers for as well. Transformers can actually be written into logic, and you can use them as power switches. Though I don't myself, um, but yeah, you can use it as a power switch to turn on and off machines on the downstream end. Now, what APCs and transformers will do is separate networks. So each and every place where the cable is broken and run into a machine turns it into a separate network. Uh, Turn that off now, and that's off too. Okay, so this is its own power network, and we will show you by grabbing out this. It's got a network card in it. See, 24 kilowatts goes to a large station battery, and it is 6 creative RTGs. That is its own separate network. Then you go over here, large station battery to a large transformer. Then you can go over here, which will show the transformer to the station battery there. And then this will show another network, the transformer to the station battery. This one is the transformer to the area power controller. And this one shows the auto lathe and the area power controller. So, yeah, you can use these machines to separate networks. So you can have a logic circuit for your power generation that will tell when the battery is low through cable analyzers and the like, and turn on your generator. Or you can have something that will turn off your transformers or your auto lathe or even the APC if your battery here gets too low. APCs are wonderful for basically either setting it up to where you can have one single machine running off of it and not have it on mainline power, or you can have it to where it is just, like I said, for airlocks and the like. With that, I'm going to wrap this up. If you like this, click that thumbs up button. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Consider subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.